Becoming smart is easy, actually. So you want to become smart? They say, to become smart, you need 12 years of school, 4 years of college, and 6 more years of graduate study. 22 years? For what? An expensive diploma, a mountain of student debt, and sometimes a job completely unrelated to what you studied. They say to be good, you must study hard. But then you look around, and some people who studied less than you are far more successful. Why? Because schools teach you how to memorize, not how to understand life. They teach you answers, but not how to ask questions. And at some point you realize being smart isn't about degrees. It's about how you think, adapt, and evolve. Part 2. Exposing the brain hack illusion. The internet is full of IQ-boosting hacks. Eat blueberries every morning, drink black coffee, listen to Mozart, meditate for 5 minutes before bed. Sounds scientific. But the truth is, they only make you more awake, not smarter. If intelligence could be bought with habits, the world would be full of geniuses. But it's not that simple. Intelligence doesn't live in your coffee cup. It lives in how you see, understand, and react to the world. There is no shortcut to becoming smart. There is only one path. Learn how to learn, train how to think, and dare to apply what you know. The problem isn't a lack of tips. It's the lack of a thinking system, a way of learning that embeds knowledge not just in your memory, but in your instincts, your choices, and every decision you make. Because true intelligence isn't knowing more than others, it's understanding yourself more deeply. Part 3. The Real Path. Using books as weapons. To become smarter, you don't need a magic secret. What you need is books. Sounds old-fashioned, right? But every brilliant mind you admire, from Einstein to Steve Jobs, was an obsessive reader. With fiction, novels, short stories, you learn rhythm, emotion, and empathy. You learn how to express feelings, how to speak in a way that makes others want to listen. With nonfiction, you gain practical wisdom, history, psychology, science, art. Each chapter you read opens a new way of seeing the world, and when you combine both logic and emotion, you won't just be smart, you'll be captivatingly smart. But remember, don't learn to outsmart others. Learn to understand and share what you discover, as if you just found something wonderful and want others to explore it too. Because intelligence isn't meant to separate you from the crowd. It's meant to connect you more deeply to the world. Part 4. Choosing the right sources. Escaping the 5 life-changing books trap. Here's a common mistake. People think becoming smart means reading the 5 classic books everyone talks about. But when they finish them, they feel nothing but boredom. The truth is, if you're not interested, no matter how great the book is, your brain will refuse to absorb it. So instead of forcing yourself, read out of curiosity. If you love simplicity, read about minimalism. If you love science, read about physics or tech. If you feel anxious, read psychology. When you read what truly sparks curiosity, your brain activates long-term memory mode. And don't worry about money. Knowledge has never been more accessible. With a few clicks, you can carry an entire library in your pocket. What matters isn't how much you read, but whether what you read makes you feel more alive. Part 5. Training memory. Why your brain forgets everything. Your brain isn't lazy. It's efficient. It forgets what doesn't matter. To remember, you must give it a reason to remember. The fastest way? Practice immediately. Read how to tie a tie. Stand up and do it. Just learned public speaking tips? Try saying a few lines in front of a mirror. If you can't practice yet, simulate it in your mind. Imagine yourself in the real situation, using what you just learned to solve a problem. Your brain will believe it's real. And store it as a living memory. To remember for life, don't just read, live the knowledge. Put yourself under small pressure. And let your mind believe This matters to me. Once information becomes essential, it never fades. Part 6. Textbooks. The ultimate weapon. Today, knowledge is everywhere. With just a few taps, you can learn anything, from quantum physics to baking bread. But among the endless flow of information, there's one realm that still holds timeless power: textbooks. They're not flashy, they don't have cool visuals, but they force you to confront real understanding. Not reading to know, but reading to grasp, apply, and retain through real effort. Textbooks don't give you the illusion of fast learning. They shape you through challenge, patience, and repetition. And that process, that grind, is what builds true intellect. Because in the end, intelligence doesn't come from learning a lot, but from daring to master something difficult. Part 7. Conclusion. Redefining SMART. Being smart isn't about a high IQ or speaking faster than others or remembering the most facts. True intelligence is choosing what matters, learning it deeply, and turning it into actions that make life, yours and others, better. If you want to start today, remember these 3 things. Learn what truly excites your curiosity. Only interest opens the brain. Turn knowledge into experience. Learn by doing, imagining, or teaching others. Add just enough pressure. When your brain believes, "I need this to survive," it never forgets. When you master these 3, you don't just become smarter, you become someone who inspires others to grow smart with you. Because in the end, intelligence isn't a light you keep for yourself, but a torch you share. So the whole path shines brighter.